All right, back with our third wheel spin. So go ahead and see what we're playing next. Creativity. So creativity is a blue-red control combo deck, basically, that's built around making tokens with various things and then creativitying them into big endgame payoffs. Now, there's two different versions of this deck. One of the versions is using Torrential Gearhulk to flashback spells, the best one being Magma Opus. This is not that version. This version is the Worm God version. So, if you have 2 tokens, you can creativity for X is 2, so spend 5, and you will hit Xenagos, God of Revels, and World Spine Worm. So the World Spine Worm, you'll go to combat. Xenagos will target the World Spine Worm, giving it plus 15 haste and trample. Well, it has trample already. And then you get to attack with a 30-30 trampler. And then that's presumably good enough to win the game. Everything else leading up to that is set up for that. So we've got Volcanic Spite, which is a removal spell that can also tuck Xenagos or World Spine Worm back into our deck in case we draw them. Similarly, Valakut Awakening is a land that we can also cast to put Xenagos or Worm back in our deck. We have Fiery Impulse and Spikefield Hazard as removal spells. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which the Shaman and the treasure that the Shaman makes and the flipped Reflection can all act as creatures and tokens for creativity to target. And it's, of course, just generally good and helps us loot away bad stuff. We have Big Score, which is a draw spell that also makes 2 treasure tokens for creativity. Impulse, make disappear and negate as counterspell interaction. And then we have Secrets of the Key, which is a blue instant for 1 mana. Investigate, so make a clue. And if you cast it from the graveyard, you make 2 clues and you can flashback it for 4. The lands are pretty stereotypical blue and red lands with Otawara, but we have 2 copies of Sokenzon. Again, we can make tokens for creativity, and Murex to make tokens for creativity. Sideboard, we have a bunch of counterspells: Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, Negate, 3 Shark Typhoons, 2 Hullbreaker Horrors. Sometimes you switch to the Hullbreaker Horror plan against the control decks because it's unlikely that you'll be able to resolve creativity. Rending Volleys, Brotherhood's End, and then Coma and Atraxa as other big creativity hits for various matchups where the Worm God isn't necessarily either. So you switch these around basically when either, for whatever reason, the Worm God plan is not going to be a guaranteed KO, or when you're not going to be able to guarantee that you either resolve creativity because of counterspells or because your opponent has ways of sweeping up the tokens that it targets. So let's jump into the league with creativity. So if you're wondering how I chose which version of the deck I was going to play, since I'm not playing both, I figure the Worm God version probably wins faster. So that's really the only reason. All right, we're on the draw. We have creativity on turn 4 with multiple good things that set them up. So yeah, I'm good with this. So let's keep. So if I Murex turn 1, that lets me play Secrets, but that doesn't let me play Impulse. So it's probably better to do Stormcarved Coast first and then Impulse. But that also ruins my curve if I want creativity for 2 things. So the upside to the Worm God version is it kills faster. And so it kills faster. But the downside is that you don't have the same kind of control game plan as the Gearhulk version. Also, sometimes just creativitying into a single Gearhulk is fine on turn 4, whereas this version you have to wait to get to 5 mana. Spirebluff Canal. All right, so that doesn't bode well for being able to resolve creativity. A second Fable's pretty nice, though. So let's just play this tapped and pass. Consider. So I assume this is Phoenix. Discards Hangerback Walker. Okay, never mind. Lava Guide Pathway. Chart a Course. Spirebluff Canal discarded. All right, well, your guess is as good as mine. Play land, pass. We drew Xenagos, unfortunately. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which we unfortunately have no answer to. So let's just Impulse. All right, Valakut Awakening to put Xenagos back in our deck, or Fiery Impulse to kill the Shaman. I'm guessing we're playing against creativity, given this. So let's grab Impulse. All right, Fable back to us. Another Fable. I was really hoping we would have drawn another land by now. So Murex, kill that, and go. So Fable trigger. What are they pitching? Kozilek's Return. Kozilek's Return. So is it creativity with the Eldrazi as the payoffs? Narset, Shark Typhoon. It's definitely creativity. All right, I guess we're just playing this. Please draw land. All right, good. Land. So I can creativity this into the Worm right now, assuming they don't have Spell Pierce, which might just be better than playing Fable on this board, especially with Narset out. All right, let's try that. All right, that resolved. Worm is a go. Opponent considers, keeps it. Back to them. So Fable flips over. Narset minus, gets consider. So they also have creativity mana with Kiki Jiki, right? Otawara it back to our hand. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, so play this one, play Fable, and back to them. There was very few things that they could be main decking that would have gotten rid of the worm, and Otawara was one of them. Cycles Shark Typhoon for nothing. Not even one. Consider. Keeps the card. So then Fable goes off, and I can't even draw extra cards with it because Narset. So no. So let's go to combat. Impulses before we can go to combat. All right, let's just double Fable then. Fable number 1, Fable number 2, and pass. Even though we get 0 draw value out of it. I guess I do want to discard my worm, right? Even if I can't draw an extra card. Although maybe not, because I'm going to get a bunch of treasures off of these guys. Plays a land. Shatter Skull Smashing. Tapped. Iron Crag Feet. Cast Emrakul. Okay. So let me think about this. They wipe the board, and then on my turn, they get to use Fable to just pitch everything into the graveyard. And I have no way of killing this. I guess if I draw creativity, all right, sure, yeah. Take my turn, opponent. So both Fables go off, ditch everything. I don't draw any cards. And then I basically have one turn to find an answer for Emrakul. Considering that they're an Eldrazi deck, even if I draw another creativity, I can't, like, killing it just spins them into another Eldrazi, right? They also make me discard Xenagos, so I don't have Xenagos anymore. They're leaving me with Volcanic Spite? Why? Oh, because they're going to kill Reflection. Yeah, that makes sense. And they're leaving me with World Spine, so I can't spin into it. All right, so both of these flip over. So land, and then we go Flashback Secrets, crack a clue on their turn. All right, pass back to them. So now Emrakul smashes us down to 6. Ledger Shredder. Wait, they have Ledger Shredder in their deck? Okay, so then they are not a creativity deck. All right, take 13, go to 6. Flashback, Secrets of the Key, crack a clue. Then it's back to us. Well, that's not going to do it, so we lose. I guess I can what? Spikefield Hazard Narset and see if I draw a card. All right, so kill Narset. Pop the clue. That's not going to do it. Yeah, we're dead. All right, versus whatever the heck they're doing. All right, cut this, cut this. Hullbreaker Horror instead. Atrax is also a good hit. All right, what are they doing? They're playing, so they're not creativity. The only actually expensive spell we saw them play was Emrakul, right? So they're probably wanting Negate and then maybe Shark Typhoon. And the only creatures we've seen from them is Hangerback Walker. I just thought, like, if they're not creativity, how in the world is Hangerback Walker one of the cards in their deck? All right, all these removal spells suck, so cut all that. The Volcanic Spites also just don't kill anything except Ledger Shredder right before it triggers. And we don't actually need to put anything back in the deck with this plan. Coma. Rending Volley is good against Ledger Shredder. I assume they're also a blue-red deck, so I assume they're playing counter spells, which means big score's bad. Let's try this, I guess. Secrets of the Key is also not very good. That's fine. All right, let's try that. All right, on the play this time. We only have, well, we have 3 lands technically. Okay, this is fine then. All right, play this tapped and go. So we got Fables early game and then Hullbreaker late game and creativity. All right, play this and then pass with Negate up. Hangerback Walker, which we can't do anything against, so yep. All right, let's resolve Fable and pass it back to them. I presume attacking into this, even though the Hangerback Walker can tick up and trade, is still better. They play their own Fable. All right, so back to us. Second Hullbreaker. We do need to find lands. So I want to get rid of... So we 100%... So if we creativity, we 100% hit Coma or Atraxa. So let's get rid of Negate and... I don't know. Is the second Fable correct? I just want to keep finding lands for Hullbreaker at this point. I'm going to cast Creativity 100% this turn. So, yeah, discard Fable, Negate. All right. Combat, attack with the Shaman. Make a treasure. Will they block? They will block. All right, that's fine. So then land, Creativity on the treasure token. And that's it. Red, red, red. So we either hit Coma or Atraxa. All right, Coma. Coma's pretty good too. Upkeep, trigger, make a coil. Opponent plays another Fable, sure. They discarded a Fable and Soken's on. Tap land. All right, so I assume it's back to us. So then Coma triggers again, makes another coil. This Reflection flips over. Play a land, go to combat, attack with these two. And then back to them, I guess. Fable triggers. Discards land, Narset. Plays another land. Are they attacking with this? Sure. Block here. I guess double block in case they have a removal spell at instant speed, so it 100% gets killed. Another Fable. Fiery Impulse on Reflection. Do I save it? Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't save it. Yeah, sure, that dies. Cycle Shark Typhoon for 3. There's Make Disappear. Make another Coil. All right, I'm going to play this. Combat. Swing with everything. They do have to block. So Hangerback Walker can chump here and then make 2 Thopters, which is fine. That chumps there. My plan is just ride this Coma to victory. And they're blocking there. All right, go to damage. And then they'll make the Hangerback bigger. Sure. So make 2 Thopters. That's fine. Back to them. Make another Coil. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types in the graveyard. Maybe I should have tapped down a land on their upkeep for Emrakul purposes, although I could have also just tapped down multiple other things. All right, so discard to this one. Creature, artifact, enchantment, instant, planeswalker, land is 6 types. Stroke, Chandra, Awakened, Inferno. All right, and then they've just conceded that. Sure. Didn't even see Ledger Shredder that game. Maybe it's better to just have these in general. All right, let's run this back. So Attracts and Hands obviously not great, but the rest of the hand's fine. So keep that. Spire Bluff Canal, back to us. Play Steam Vents tapped, go. Spire Bluff Canal, back to us. All right, hold up, negate, back to them. 3rd land, Narset, negate that. So back to us, Fable the Mirror Breaker, pass to them. Maybe they don't have counterspells. Like, we haven't seen a single counterspell out of them so far. Ironcrag Feet into Chandra. Then they can kill this, or just plus. Does this -X target anything? No, just creatures and planeswalkers. All right, what am I discarding? Because I'm definitely discarding something. I'm at least discarding one of these lands. And then, even though Impulse is a thing I can cast, I feel like I can do better than that. And if I don't find anything else, I'm probably just cycling this Shark Typhoon. All right, discard these 2. 2 more lands. All right, so combat, attack Chandra, make a treasure, and then play a land, and then just pass. And if they tick Chandra up again, it's at 8, and cycling the Typhoon doesn't get it down low enough to prevent it from sweeping the board, unfortunately. Chandra pluses us again. So I'm just going to do it for 2 so I don't lose this treasure. So this is an interesting deck. It's like blue-red control with Ironcrag Feet to ramp into Emrakul or Chandra. But if that plan isn't viable, then it just plays like Ledger Shredder and other cheap tempo cards. All right, Shark Typhoon, make an X2, or a 2/2. There's also an argument to be made to just hold on to it, but man, just 4 lands. All right, we go to 17, draw another land, Jesus. All right, go to combat. All right, kill our Shaman, unfortunate. Attack Chandra. And now they can sweep the board. So we're 1 turn away from being able to cast Atraxa. No, I only have blue, so I have blue, black. No, so I'm missing colors for it. I'm missing 1 color because I can get fixed with Mirrex. So I needed that Shaman to live. All right, pass back to them. We've also just bricked hard all these lands in a row. Chandra kills our board, plays Ledger Shredder. All right, back to us. We go to 15. Coma. I can play Coma. So Mirrex, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So green, green, stop on upkeep. Blue, blue, all of these, play Coma. So then upkeep, we make a coil. And then I'm going to make sure Chandra can't be activated this turn. Somehow this Gigantic Serpent does not have reach, but don't question it. Ledger Shredder attacks us. We go to 14. Chart a Course, discarding Impulse. Or no, discarding nothing because they attacked. So Chart a Course, plays a land, shocking it in. All right, so we go down to 12. Coma makes a thing. All right, so go to combat, and we're going to kill Chandra off so they can't damage us anymore. So attack Chandra. How in the world do they have an answer to this? Soaken's on. And then they can just block. All right, let's Impulse now. Creativity. So I can go land, creativity, the coil, put Hullbreaker into play. Seems pretty good. All right, Indomitable Creativity, any other order. And then they block 1. Sure, so no damage. So then we go, I want to keep Coma around. So creativity this. Unfortunately triggers Connive, but what are you going to do? Discards Narset. All right, Hullbreaker hits the field, play this tapped, back to them. Coma trigger, tap down Chandra. And hopefully this is good enough. Combat, Ledger Shredder, no blocks, 10. And we're on a pretty tight clock now. Another Chandra, and they're just plussing us again? I'm surprised they didn't kill Coma. All right, we go to 7. God damn, no more spells. we're just not drawing any spells. So I have to tap this spirit token to kill Chandra off, but I guess that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's a Mirrex, that's a Mirrex. All right, so play Mirrex, Coma, tap the token down, go to combat, kill Chandra off, and then Coma triggers, and then we're just gonna tap Ledger Shredder down. All right, tap down Ledger Shredder, and then I think we're still dead, right? Maybe I wasn't supposed to attack Chandra last turn. Make a Might. I can't believe they didn't attack there. Make another Might. Triggers. We go to 4. They would have put us to 3 if they had attacked. Still not a land. How? Or still not a spell. Jesus. All right. I can tap this, but then what does that matter? So let's just go to combat and attack them with everything. Then they get to chump Kraken or Horror. Take 8, go to 8. I guess I play a land. And then it's back to them. Tap down Ledger Shredder. We're dead to another Chandra, and we're dead to Spike Field Hazard. We're dead to any burn, basically. All right, Coma, tap this guy. Another Ledger Shredder. Then back to us. All right, make a Might. Make a Might. Untap. Triggers, we go to 1. All right, we have won the match. We would, if they had just attacked with the Spirit token, I think we would have been dead. What a hard-fought game. On to round number, that was just round 1. Round number 2. Definitely an interesting deck idea, though. All right, round 2 on the draw. Well, this hand has Xenagos in the hand. It's also on the draw, has no interaction. It does have Fable, though. I guess I can just cast Fable off treasures. All right, I'll keep. Humans? Yep, humans. All right, this is going to be uphill battle. Make disappear. All right, so play this. Pass it back to them. Take 2 from Dauntless. Second land. Hopeful Initiate. Another Hopeful Initiate. All right, Secrets of the Key. So back to us. All right, so Volcanic Spiting this means that these don't get trained, and I put Xenagos back in the deck, so let's just do that now. Put back Xenagos, and then pass to them. Wait, they have a companion? They have Yorion? Humans with Yorion. All right, 3 damage here, and then Adeline's a giant bummer. I knew that they could do that, but I was just like, well, like, what else are we going to do? All right, I guess the only out is the creativity plan now, so land, Fable, and yeah, we just have to creativity them out of the game. Recruitment officer. That sucks. All right, so now these get trained. We block the human token. So the problem is they have a blocker now. So I'm 1 short of being able to creativity for both. We're at 1. Jesus. So let's discard. I don't even know. Make disappear is useless at this point in the game because I have to. I guess the shock land's also useless. I think we just lose here. Fiery Impulse kills 1 thing. We block 1 thing, then we lose. Yep. All right, concede. Humans, all the burn, and that's it. Just all the burn, and we just need to out aggro them. Negate is useless. What else? I'm not sure what else. Probably like never have time to cast Valakut Awakening, but we do need. But it's a land. You can't really cut your lands. So that leaves what? Big Score is the slowest spell here, or maybe 1 Impulse. Maybe just Impulse. Like you can't take turns off to just not do anything. But it is good to like curve it into the creativity when you need to. So maybe just shave 1 of each of these. All right, on the play versus Yorion Humans. All right, this is fine. Keep this. So play this tapped, go. Land, Hopeful Initiate. All right, land, pass with Make Disappear up, and then if I assume we're gonna have to make disappear something. Mutavault. Yeah, counter that. Then they attack, then we play Fable. There's creativity. So Fable, back to them. Another land. Thraben Inspector. See, you have to play garbage like this when you add 20 more cards to your deck. Are they just going to attack with Mutavault? No. Oh, okay, that trains that. Do I block Mutavault? If I don't, I get to attack and creativity into 1 of my 2 pieces, but not both of them. It's probably better to just eat their lands out here. All right, discarding Impulse, keeping everything else. I really need to hit another land this turn, like a lot. All right, just get rid of Impulse. All right, there's a land, so play that. And then just pass with burn up. Pass with burn up / Big Score. And if they don't play anything I need to kill, then I just go Big Score, untap, creativity, hopefully win. All right, Adeline. I do need to kill that. So Rending Volley, Adeline. All right, kill this. Don't put anything back. Then we take 1 back to our turn. Fiery Impulse. This flips over, and then we just pass back to them. Another land. Ossification. Very well. Hopeful Initiate. I am going to discard that to Impulse, or I'm going to discard Impulse to Big Score. They have 0 cards left in hand. All right, so end of turn, Big Score, discard Impulse, draw 2, make 2 treasures. All right, Shock, Creativity, both of these. Red, 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 this one. Then Combat, trigger, targeting this. Yeah, all right. So we're on the draw this time, which means I'm more wanting to just combo / kill everything. I don't know if I change anything as a result, though. Maybe Make Disappear is like way worse on the draw. But I don't know. It kills Adeline, which is important. I guess I'm leaving it as is. All right, run this back. This has removal. We do have red mana because we can play Valakut and then Spike Field Hazard and Rending Volley. So I'll keep. Plains Recruitment Officer. We're unfortunately a turn behind because our red mana is... oh, no, we're not because Riverglide Pathway is red. Yeah, all right. So play Lava Glide and pass. Second Plains plays Thalia. All right, so let's just kill this now and then kill Thalia on our turn, or the next turn, rather. All right, play land, pass back to them. Then we're going to volley Thalia. Thalia's Lieutenant. All right, kill this. Lieutenant comes down as a 1/1. They've got nothing else to do. Drawing that was excellent because now I can play Fable. Knight of the White Orchid. Yep, this is the kind of trash you have to put in your deck when you go up to 80 cards with Yorion, which is why Humans doesn't go up to 80 cards with Yorion. Dauntless, which will trigger the Lieutenant. So no blocks. I need to find a sweeper. I also can't attack into this first striking Knight. Fiery Impulse. All right, what am I discarding? One of the big scores and the second Fable. Yeah, all right. There's Creativity, which we can't play right now. So let's see. I'm going to Impulse this, hold up, Make Disappear. So play this as our land. This can... no, so I guess I can't Impulse this because they save it, right? So I just Impulse this now so I get a treasure token. All right, so Impulse this, then go to combat, swing here, make the treasure. They are going to trade. All right, and that just leaves them with Thalia's Lieutenant and me with Make Disappear to counter whatever they play. Hopefully. Can't counter that. Attack for 4, we go to 11. Surprised they wouldn't animate an attack with Mutavault here. Redain, counter. I guess that's why they're doing that, yeah. All right, so we're missing a token. Oh, no, we're not. All right, we got it, because this flips over. So Shock, Creativity here and here. Red, red, red. Boom. Worm God. All right. Round number 3. On the draw for round 3. This is not a very good hand, but we do have a curve and a clue to potentially draw more cards. And we are very mana hungry. All right, I will keep. Storm Carved Coast tapped. All right, we do not have the luxury of taking any time off, so we'll shock this in, pass. Soken's on. All right, cast Secrets of the Key on end step. It resolved instantly. So, all right, play a land, back to them, holding up Make Disappear / Impulse. Third land. Fable, counter that. This is just the all Izzet decks today, isn't it? Izzet Bonanza. All right, Storm Carved, back to you again. Holding up Negate Impulse or Clue. Negate the second Fable. Another land, back to us. Okay, play a land and back to you. Mutavault. All right, so it's not Phoenix, so it is another like Creativity deck. Another Fable. I guess I can Impulse for Negate maybe? No. Fiery Impulse at least kills the token. Big Score is also better for just winning the game. Let's just take Big Score. Yeah, that happens. Hits the board. All right, pop the clue. Land. Mirrex. They also can just have counter spells. So let's see. Play a land and pass. Back to them. All right, what are we playing against? Discarding. All right, so it's Opus Creativity. Goblin attacks, makes it treasure. Plays another land. Then to us. All right, try to Big Score end of turn. Discard Shivan Reef. Resolved, we drew one of our worms. That's awful. We will rather redrew the worm. Okay, so then they're going to upkeep Hulk, Opus, tap 2 of our lands down. Yep. So let's float in response and then just cast Secrets of the Key with the mana that we have floating right now. All right, Secrets Ode to Key. Make some clues. We go to 12. They make a 4/4. And they just have lethal on board. Draw for turn. Another land. This is 11 plus Mutavault. We actually just die. Play land, crack clue. Yeah, we're dead. All right, so this plan's out the window. This plan's in. Shark Typhoon in. Negate in. Stroke in. Impulse out. Volcanic Spite out. Traxa. All right, there you go. Submit. There's an argument for Aether Gust, but meh. All right, this is keepable. Keep this. Play Shivan Reef turn 1. Shivan Reef, go. Spire Canal. Secrets of the Key on end step. Second land, back to you. All right, end step Impulse, because I absolutely need to get lands. All right, so Steam Vents. Shock. Yes, we're running this into a counter spell, but what can you do? Negate, sure. If I knew I had more time to wait around, then I wouldn't, but... All right, back to us. So they didn't play anything. So let's see. I'm going to shock this in, and then we have options, because we can go Disappear, Secrets, or Clue, or Big Score. Tap land. All right, flashback secrets. Was really hoping we would have hit a land there. So I guess I keep passing and then crack the clues on their turn. So this is basically the control mirror. All right, crack clue, crack clue. There's more mana. Play Storm Carved, and then just keep passing. So actually, no, let's see. The only card that I actually care about playing is Make Disappear. So I should just try to jam Fable right now. Mystical Dispute, sure. Back to them. So I cannot rely on the creativity plan, so I need to just jam clues as much as possible. Yeah, so their Fable resolves now because they have enough mana to pay for our counters, which is awful. They still have 4 cards left. All right, pop the clue. Mirrex. Yeah, I guess back to them. And then, yep, they got their Fable down before we did. Fable trigger, loot away. Indomitable Impulse in the graveyard. So yeah, swing, make a treasure. We take 2, we go down to 12. Can't believe I've taken that much damage just from my lands. Plays another tap land. All right, so now that it's back on us, let's go Impulse end of turn. Well, I can't actually cast either of these unless I big score into them. So, although if I do manage to big score, so I have to resolve big score basically. That's the issue. But if I do, then I can play Coma. And that seems better than just having Negate, so let's do Coma. All right, and then we'll just make a token. I guess I could big score right now, but then they can just counter it. So let's just make a Might. And then back to us. Shivan Reef, we drew Negate anyway. So attack with the Might, swing. And then back to them. So Fable flips over, and we have to try to resolve stuff on their turn. Hullbreaker Horror. I guess I just use big score right now. So this card, Make Disappear. So the problem is this just counters anything, including Coma. That's uncounterable. All right, another big score. Discarding Make Disappear again. I don't know. One of the creativities. All right, over to you. So yeah, we pretty much just lose now. Any instant speed spell counters anything we play. All of our stuff's expensive. So take 9, go to 3. Then Hullbreaker triggers with every spell, so they bounce our clue. All right, so float a blue mana. I guess I try to negate this. All right, what can I even do? Just hope they don't have anything at instant speed. That's not a viable plan. If they just have anything at instant speed, we lose anyway. So may as well try to go for it. Red, 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 colorless, colorless. Odawara, one of the tokens. All right. Does this one resolve at least? All right, so our Hullbreaker hits the field. And now we can go secrets, bounce your Hullbreaker. Yeah, I can't do anything else, so pass. And then I have 1 blocker. So they can copy the Shaman and they can play Hullbreaker, and then we can just bounce it. So yeah, cast this, return, spell to hand. All right, so I can't cast Coma. I can cast Shark Typhoon, bounce Reflection. I can also cast Secrets of the Key. So how much mana do I have exactly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm short of being able to do Shark plus Secrets. And I do need to have instant speed to put the guy back in their hand. Because otherwise they'll just wait and then make a copy of this end of turn and then untap and they can make another copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's possible we don't lose from that. So let's see. I can cycle the Shark for X is 1. Blue, colorless, colorless. That makes a blocker. Disdainful Stroke. All right, that'll do it. All right, so I guess I just pass now. They didn't do it end of turn. All right, so back to us. I always need to have a way to bounce Hullbreaker, but it's better to be mana efficient. So let's go Secrets, trigger, bounce, Reflection. And they're going to try to Hullbreak in response, and we go Stroke that, bounce the spell. Mystical Dispute on something, which I can't pay for. All right, so bounce that. Oh man, we didn't hit any lands. Okay, so we have 1 clue to try to resolve this. That's terrible. All right, swing with Hullbreaker. Combat, we have to chump it. That's fine. I guess I don't have to chump it, but I should. So block here. All right, make a token. Back to us. They still have Hullbreaker. My god, can we please draw a spell that we can actually cast? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Combat, swing here, swing here. Go directly to damage, and then it's back to them. End step, I assume they'll try to flash it in here. It resolves, and then we want to bounce that now. Plays another land. Shaman gets to attack. We go to 1. All right, Hullbreaker returns. They still have 3 mana after that. So if I make a Might right now, they just go spell, bounce Hullbreaker, but they're going to bounce Hullbreaker anyway, so I may as well. Make a Might. Back to us. And now we lose. Just incredible. We've bricked on spells and lands that we can't do anything with multiple times. So they just need any spell, and Hullbreaker bounces back to our hand. All right, pass. I guess technically I can play it again, so... But they have 2 attackers. Yep, we lose. Our next draw is Impulse, and we would have impulsed into actual spells. All right, so be it. Round number 4. On the play, this is fine. Keep this. So I'm going to play this in case I need to impulse something. Swamp. Thoughtseize. All right. So presumably they just take creativity now. No, they took big score, not creativity. All right, play land, go. Cling to Dust, big score to draw. Swamp. All right, so not Rakdos, because Rakdos doesn't play Cling to Dust. Well, Storm Carved, go. Castle Locthwain. Yeah, so is this just the Waste Knot deck? That's what it looks like. Plus, we'll discard, honestly, probably Fiery Impulse at this point. Yeah, discard Fiery Impulse. They discarded a Swamp. All right, Mirrex, go ahead. So if they just plus again, I can go Secrets of the Key, discard, flash it back, and then Creativity. All right, discard Secrets of the Key. Urborg for them. Field of Ruin. All right, Secrets of the Key. Problem is if I create... So yeah, okay, Secrets of the Key. Let's do that. Secrets of the Key, make 2 clues. I doubt they have a way to target these. They could have a way to target the worm, but in mono black, I doubt it. Or like a way that gets rid of it permanently. So Field of Ruin, get a land, back to us. And then we go Storm Carved, Creativity. All right, Combat. So they can go for the throw. All right, yeah. So I'm assuming they're the Waste Knot deck. So let's see. Don't want any of this garbage removal. I probably need other payoffs because if they just strip them out of our hand and then, like, let's say they strip Xenagos out of our hand and then we're just dead, basically. So let's bring in other payoffs and get rid of more bad removal. Negate's good. This is bad. What else do I want? Stroke for Shieldred. All right, let's do that. Okay, this is fine. Keep this. Opponent mulls to 5. Urborg. Back to us. All right, play this tapped. And back to them. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Sign in Blood to draw 2. Sure. Play Riverglide and Path with Negate/Impulse open. Field of Ruin. Thoughtseize us. I guess I'll negate that. Gifted Aetherborn. Sure. All right, land, Fable, and pass. They're attacking here? That seems foolhardy. Sure. Do they? I guess they just have another creature then, or they're going to play Liliana or something? Shieldred. Gotcha. So let's see. So then Fable triggers. I guess I just Creativity my Shaman and then try to hit something big. Yeah. So just no discards. Depends on what I hit though. So Mirrex, Creativity this. Red, 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 blue. All right. What do we hit? Worm. Worm's pretty good. So back to them. They go up to 22. The worst hit would have been Hullbreaker because we would have had no mana open. So can I erase them in this situation? Let's say they don't attack me, right? And I go attack. They'll block with Gifted Aetherborn, presumably, which essentially absorbs 5 damage. So they go to 12. I'm at 14. Then I get 3 worms in play. Then the Shieldred ticks back up to 14. And then I still have 3 worms. I can maybe erase them. They can just not block, I guess. Activate Castle Locthwain. So no attacks on their part. Shieldred, we go to 14. Then Reflection flips over. All right, so if I attack here, I'm susceptible to a bunch. If this survives, though, I get to make a copy of it, but I doubt that's happening. I'm probably going to cast Impulse no matter what, so I guess let's do it now. Sure, all right, so Negate is a pretty good draw, so let's draw Negate, play this. I should have played that on the red side. All right, swing with the Worm. Whether they trade or not is fine. So they are blocking with Gifted Aetherborn. All right, so triggers, make 3 trampling 5/5s. They're at 11. And then no Fables because we're just going to pass back to them with Negate up. Shieldred, they go back to 13. Activate Locthwain to draw. Go to 11. All right, we won. On to the 5th and final round. All right, we're on the play for the 5th and final round. This is fine. Keep this. Opponent has Gigantha. All right, play this tapped and go. Shivan Reef. More Izzet Mirrors. All right, Mountain and go with Impulse/Volcanic Spite up. Odawara. All right, cast Impulse and Unstep. All right, Riverglide. All right, attempt to resolve Fable. Spell Pierce. All right, back to the opponent. 3rd land. All right, try to resolve Fable again. Make disappear. So play this tapped and pass. Mirrex. Another creativity matchup. Jeez. All right, land, and then I guess I just pass to them and they make a Mirrex token. Well, they have Gigantha in their deck, so they can't be running Gear Hulk. They can't be running Worm. I guess I take 1 from this and then I'll spite it end of turn. All right, Volcanic Spite this thing. Put back Impulse. We drew another Impulse. Very well, deck. All right, pass back to them. So Volcanic Awakening, Valakut Awakening rather, we're definitely using. Activates Mirrex, sure. Take another one from the Might. End of turn, Valakut Awakening. Put back the burn spells. All right, another creativity, a land, and Fable. Play land, play Fable. Fable resolves, then pass back to them. Another Might, another land. Fiery Impulse or Guy, sure. 2 Mights attack. Then we go to 16 and 4 poison. All right, I guess I'm discarding 2 lands. So yeah, get rid of 2 lands. Fable and negate. All right, Fable again. Resolve this, make a Shaman, pass it back. End of turn, make another Might. Just riveting gameplay here. If they try to kill this, I do have to negate that at this point. Blue, Fading Hope, our guy. All right, counter. What the heck deck am I even playing against right now? Because I would think it's creativity, but they're just a bunch of weird stuff. All right, can't pay for Spell Pierce. And then we're literally going to die to these Might tokens because they attack in, we go to 7 poison, and then if I don't find an answer, it's another 3 poison next turn. Soaken's on, which leaves me with not enough mana to cast creativity, so both of these, and then use the ability, and definitely the land's going away. But I don't know what else. Actually, no, I guess the land isn't going away. I can use it to block. Yeah, never mind. Just discard nothing. So back to them. Impulse. Yep, Fiery Impulse Reflection. All right, channel Soaken's on, and then move to blocks. Block 1 of them. So 9 poison, and then when this Fable flips, it means we have 2 things to target. All right, if they have a counter, we lose the game. Creativity. Yep, all right. So more sleep-inducing gameplay in a bit. So these come out, kind of the same thing we've been doing all day. All of this comes in. I guess not stroke. All that in. The impulses suck. Take those out. Take out the volcanic spites. I assume they're playing Gear Hulk or something. So the strokes are probably useful. Coma, Atraxa. All right, submit. How many Izzet creativity matches have we played so far? This is like the 3rd one at least. All right, on the play. That's fine. Keep that. Play this. Tapped. Go. Opponent plays Steam Vents. Tap. River Glide. Go. Shivan Reef, and then back to us. So if I just try to jam Fable here, then it's probably just getting countered. So it's better to just Storm Carved and pass. And then next turn Mirrex and just hold Mirrex up. Shocks in a 3rd land. Back to us. All right, Mirrex, back to you. Another land, Shocking in Steam Vents. Plays Reckoner Bankbuster. Okay. Activate Mirrex. Storm Carved Coast. Combat. Attack with the Might. So I can resolve Fable and then negate back if they try to counter it. Is that even good? I guess it is. Yeah. So play Fable. Change the equation. Negate. So Fable resolves, and then it's back on them. Fiery Impulse or Shaman. Plays another land. Then back to us. All right. Fable, trigger, discarding, Spikefield Hazard, and I honestly want to keep playing lands every turn, but it's probably better to get some kind of interaction, so let's discard Steam Vents. All right, there's Hullbreaker Horror. So play a land, go to combat, swing with the Might, and then just keep passing with Mirrex / make disappear up. They draw a card with Bankbuster. I guess they missed a land drop. All right, make another Might. So the moment we get to 7 mana, we get to flash in Hullbreaker. We're at 7 mana. This flips over, combat, attack with the Mights, swing, swing, shock this in, go. Volcanic Spite this, sure. Does it not tell me if they put a card back? Or did they not put a card back and that's why it's not saying anything? Draws a card with Bankbuster. All right, they're not doing anything. Let's play Hullbreaker. Draws with the Bankbuster. They make a pilot and a treasure. All right, so they can't beat that. Am I supposed to bring in Aether Gust to bounce Fable? That seems so bad. Yeah, no, let's just run this back as is. I guess there's an argument for playing it instead of Atraxa, since Atraxa is way harder to cast. Like, Atraxa is almost impossible to cast, and it's unlikely that you ever creativity off. All right, game 3 of round 5 on the draw. We have 3 lands, none of which are blue, and 2 big giant spells in our hand, and 2 creativities. All right, I guess technically, if I draw any other land, I can use Valakut Awakening to switch this hand around, and it does have a Mirrex. All right, let's keep. If I don't draw lands for 3 turns, then I was going to lose anyway. All right, there's a land. So this has to be in tapped, so let's play this first. Back to them. Spire Bluff Canal, Reckoner Bankbuster. Another Hazard. I'm going to play this rather than bluffing anything. Back to them. All right, 3rd land, no actions. Back to us. So let's just play. This is going to come out sooner or later. So shock this in, and then pass back to them with Valakut Awakening open. Draw with Bankbuster. Plays another land. All right, end of turn, cast Valakut Awakening. Put back Atraxa, put back Creativity. I think it's so unlikely I'm actually going to be able to use creativity this game. Let's just put back all the creativities. I don't want big score because I don't want to cast a spell that causes me to discard when I use it into a counter spell. So let's just put everything back except Murex and Hullbreaker. In the order, draw, double rig score a bunch of lands. All right, so now I guess the game plan is just keep passing with Murex open until we eventually find Hullbreaker. All right, Murex, go. Draw with Bankbuster. The Bankbuster will flip and then start to present a clock though, so it is important that we eventually deal with it. Mountain, all right, make a might. Another big score. All of the big scores. All right, land, I can't attack because of Mutavault, so just keep passing. And then Bankbuster flips to its final mode. Another Bankbuster. They're just not crewing. All right, make a might. Not sure why they wouldn't just crew there, but sure. So now I can make a might and cast Impulse. So yeah, let's just keep passing. Draw with Bankbuster. Another land. Still no combat. All right, cast Impulse. I guess I'll grab Make Disappear or maybe the other Murex. Is Make Disappear even useful at this point? Maybe it is. I don't know. Grab Make Disappear. Activate Murex. I guess I can just sack one of these mites, so it's kind of like pay 4. All right, opponent discarded to hand size. So play a land, pass. We're going to try to flash Hullbreaker in. They could, of course, also have Hullbreaker, at which point, yeah, are they going to flash in Hullbreaker as well? Shark Typhoon X is a bunch, sure. 5/5 Shark, and they draw. Plays another land, shocks. Crew Bankbuster. I believe I'm supposed to just not do anything here, so take 9. All right, end of turn, Hullbreaker. So it obviously resolves, and then what are they going to do in response? Fading Hope it back to our hand. That's very annoying, but sure. All right, play another land. They have 1 Hullbreaker and Mutavault. All right, just pass it back again, I guess. Now, so if I do this now, let's see. I'm going to bounce the Shark token. All right, back to them. Draw with Reckoner. What else are they doing at instant speed? Making another Shark. We only have Hullbreaker plus 1 thing. So I guess I have to do it now, right? I go Hullbreaker. How big is this Shark? Because I have to hazard this pilot so that they can't double crew. So Hullbreaker, then Spikefield Hazard, kill the pilot token, and then trigger, kill the big Shark. So now they can activate this Bankbuster to make a pilot, and they can crew this Bankbuster, also animate Mutavault. So if they have anything that gets rid of Hullbreaker, they win. And it costs them 1, 2, 3, 4. And so they have 4 mana to be able to get Hullbreaker off the field. Because it's activate, make a pilot. Oh, so 5 mana because they make a treasure. So activate, make a pilot. Yep. Pilot crews this Bankbuster. Mutavault. Dude, if you have the removal spell, just use it. Like, just show me. Why are we crewing everything else first? They just don't. They're just going to attack with this and force a block on the Bankbuster. Okay. So they're putting us to 3. Or do they just have multiple burn spells to kill Hullbreaker? Okay, 7. Fiery Impulse. All right, so let's see. Big score, discarding a land that I'm not going to play. Change the equation, which we counter back, although it leaves us with very little mana. We have to draw creativity, and we put 2 creativities on the bottom. Yeah, all right, we're dead. So none of the mites can block every creature's... Well, not every creature's lethal. I would have to deal with both of these. I have 1 land play that I haven't played. Okay, so I can Otawara the Shark, and then they just crew Bankbuster and kill us. Or... So big score leaves us with 2, impulse leaves us with 2. So impulse we see further down. So impulse, no, I guess that's not correct. If I find, I aborted out all of my removal, right? So I just have what, Shark Typhoons, all right, cast impulse. None of that's gonna do it. I'm 1 short of being able to use Sokens on. I still can't block that. All right, that's game. Oh, all right, 3 and 2 with creativity, and after having played this and seeing the other versions of creativity in action, what I can say is I think this Worm God version is probably just worse. It's more all in. It doesn't have other ways of winning. You can never cast creativity X as 1 because then you're only going to get 1/2 of your combo, which forces you to delay a turn. Not only delay a turn until you have 5 mana, but delay until you have 2 tokens, and you don't always have 2 tokens. Whereas the Gear Hulk version can just always play X as 1 and go grab a Gear Hulk. The Gear Hulks themselves are also just actually castable creatures as opposed to these guys. So I think probably if you're going to run creativity, the Gear Hulk version is just better.